Yo abusia and so today we are going to have a big conversation. Before I start, I want to ask, why should Israel ask Ghanaians to stand with them in this war? What do we have? Why would they call us to come and help them in this whole war thing that is going on? Because they have the top-notch people, Americans helping them. So why would they call Ghanaians to come and help them? Aya ye dwin say niama we hu ana. Pamucho wo. Asama me pese mi bi sei. Minim se nyansa wo mu a. Enti ekun pa omo kun pa ye bibifu asofo bi hu niama fa hu. Eye de ben okun. And then I want us to talk about something that you would have to sit back and think. Mijidi se nipa bebre enim na ne kaye ebinumu kaden, ebimu susuro so mbeka ho asem. Na uye Kristoni, uye Kremoni, wa wuti osonsom from Judaism to where? Wo hwe me ende no. Ansa na de ye beso ma se be kume no, ana ba be crucify me no. Me pese wo dream deep. Nne conversation ya ye be have yi hu. Na wo ankasa wa hwe. Se wo sum den. Na wo frɛ nyame ana wo frɛ Allah ben e na wo frɛ no. Se ye hu Bible ni ye hu Quran ye mfa nto hefa. Ne fapim ejina he nyame bi na troye nyame tiri mu po ena etaye kira na mpamocho de ameke mu fa nkwa adwendwem esan se enche ekra ena Jehovah Witness fo aba se afa de omo abetwe omo moji agu omo dem na obi hia moji omo de ama no nti omo awu kɔ no omo so obi amfa omo nkɔ court na sɔre no so mi nkobi ntimi nya ho hwe na mahumpo ahu se Nyankopɔn ɔka asɛm kyerɛ ɔmo ndura yi no wasan bɛka se nya kyerɛ ɔmo a enti me pɛsɛ metwe wadwene gina bibi so da ɔkyena bi mo nso mo ba na mo bɛka kyerɛ yɛ sɛ Nyankopɔn sise nya afɛ yetumi ebisa mo question a ɛwɔ hɔ. Today we are going to have a conversation and the topic is the stolen legend, part 2 of last week's episode. Me do got 3 different stages. Enye bebre bia na me woka. Ye bedi kan the original people. Me bisa o last week ni say. Enti omo muti Israel ho sesi e. Omo no mo ye Israel fo na. Because sesi ano oko Egypt mpo a ana all the desert ayenim na onkoto bibini bia wo tese wakosra ho. Na Egypt fo abrofo na ete wono kra ka tro mo so mo ye Africans a no mo ti kwa apai. Enti yebeka the original people na fe wi a ba behwe the Vikings of the stolen promise. Na fe wi a yebehwe the 2 empires of the same origin. Na matwe wadwen agina Quran so na matwe wadwen so agina Bible so patro na wakotena se adwen na wahwe dia obetumi aye e de ama wo ho obibini abusia. It was fitting we brought this conversation to a deeper level during spiritual hour. Today we are going to examine how Western Europeans not only stole our history, but also invite us to endorse them as they relive our mysteries and legends. And until I say this ankomwe, because obibini edi ade echi, ene wiase to me and wiase nim de nankase bie kwan edi ama obibini say dia wo can be a mintie da. Na so bibini nim no ho a anko nche ne hu emfe ngu nkrofo abomu so for free. Na ye di abomu na ngugusu na ye de apesie na yigata e wa abomu ni mu na enwo na kɔ ebinum anim de binum so di kontomre green. Sankomwe ene me pesa me nu edie. They use strategy to take everything of us, including our identity. Willingly, we stand before our ancestors with them to say that we agree. Oh, munfa bibia anko. Munfa bibia. Yedi bibia chemokwa. Munfa bibia anko. Universe ninti minye bibia mwayen. Because ye ankasa, ye give ye hu up. Sani ama we na mepese ye ka hu asem. Mama wakwa aba so de aba spiritual word medie kese yeso. In our last episode, I told you that Israel is not fighting to win the war. Enya ntokwa bi omo no mo wini na meto mebu na megubum because Arabians no omo wo ho na omo shibal statue no omo screaming Allahu Akbar no omo wo mo Quran ni omo Allah dada And na Israel for no so bombo Iran for no so wo Jesus dada. Religion was here and is been here. Inti Ebani saying na Trump beka and said religion is coming back, and quickly they also wrote a Bible for Americans.
You have to have religion. You have to have it. You have to have faith. You have to have God. And thankfully, as we gather today, there are many signs that religion is coming back, and now it's no longer signs. It's just coming back. It's coming back.
In our last episode, no makatro say nya tokwa obi ku anwi ni etuo betwa. Na senka bibifo ni momo ho a anka omo nche omo hu ngu sa ania meyi so mbaake omo emfa omo endorsement ma omo nananom nsem ndwo ewo omo ho ma omo mogya nso ano ndwo ewo omo ho anka bibifo nimu a anka omo begina hodin ahwo omo se nkrofo yi nko nhye ntore ma omo ase ntore omo emma baby omo tena no endane ya am so se de be nso minim ka mi refi se atwi. They are fighting to be hated to trigger a global war so that the end of time will come, fulfilling the legend of being the chosen ones. Are they the chosen ones? All those fighting. What do you know about these two people? Omo ye die nipa, omo origin ye hi, unya akape quickly. No mako Sarah ni hega ho. Sa akorafo mba. Na ye di echire. Today I have something to tell us. Ani, adunya ya juni o, but they be ya me cause we bisa me ho asem. Israel for ne what types ana? Ni bisa. Who are the Israelites? Na edin Israel ni pefridim ene bai. Which God gave this Israelite this promise, and which God gave these Arabians or this Islamic countries sa promise here this antokwa yi neba sa niam we ade yehwem nti so ukita wo Bible na wo Quran so ende me pese wutie ni ye se wo nso a wo join Judaism bandan Gentile wo nso so me pese wutie asem yi me nka se tie me na jai de awo ye no but me se tie me na dwen na me njeje wo so da because me ni nyansa ade bi a wo condemn you cannot correct it me de me domo ti me twa mo adwe agina so na sebe mo adwen akwa akiri na mo ahwe se mu di mo ho atam gu mo ho anim ase anase mo ye mo ho papa bi eno na me pese me ka ho ase. And the prophecy and the reward and the prophet and the prophecy and the reward o time beba mo so na nyankopon asifom no wa be save eno ho adwuma no mo ye nyame benya. They are following an ancient written prophecy that says when the world turns against them, their God will descend and rescue them. But which God? I ask, which God is descending to save who? Today, I want to go deeper. Today, I want us to get into these things. So before they send you, if you are Muslim, if you are Christian, before they send you to come and kill me or crucify me, I want you to think deep. Whether you are crucifying me for Africa or you are crucifying me for our foolishness. Because there is a second question that has been sitting in my chest since I began researching this topic. And I didn't question her. And the question is, who are these people really claiming to be the chosen ones? Chosen ones here. Ayana mpese ye bisa sa question we. Eya na bibifo ni bi. So mo pese mo ye Israel for. Minim de entia wo ye bibini na o san pese wo ye Israel ni. Ebi mo kra to me kwa to kodu level say they want to be spiritual Israelites. Me bisa question we. Say why mo na ye original Israelites and then so me say bi biom. Are the current people calling themselves the chosen nation actually the ones the ancient prophecy was written about? Me question kakraka ba kunie. Wo mu a wo no mote ho. A omo se omo ye Israel for se ye omo kun. Ye mbisa ye ho. E kwan be na omo fa so kotena ba bi omo te no. Na ntokwa ne potin a omo kun no. Nipa mienu na akun ni nyina omo wa akwanya so omo kun. E de potin na so omo to. A omo ko ho. Or have they borrowed someone else's identity and used someone else's mythology? Aya question. Are they reenacting someone else's divine promise? Before your bibiri na ohwam ya bisa ho sa question we. Anaso so mo ye nkrofo bi divine promise no mo pre ho. And as I promise no nti no mo kum nipa nyina. No mo create your time de ama omo ho. Asem we ye omo kan ye no kore. Bibisa mo ede be nyankopon no hia se ebinom be ko na ebi atan ebi ansa na watumi asi fom abaye ninjuma esese oye. Nyansa bi wo ma ye nyana. Ye bisa ye ho questions. And if they borrowed it, who did they borrow it from? Sa me kasa identity ni nya omo dia ana ahyensode yi nya omo dia. Ena omo afa na omo fafiri nipa ben ho. Na nipa na omo fafiri omo woni nim say ya fa bibia afiri omo ho na omo fa na omo kai so omo fa omo ahyensode a na omo identity ni firi ba bia na. Can this be the cause of this ntokwa na? Na nkrofo we kura nka universe releases antokwa ya ma omo no omo te omo ho ase. This is my opinion. Abusia, I have done my research. I have spoken to the masters. I have sat with this for a long time. And today I am going to walk you through what I believe happened. And now what I know. And now what I think. And or now what I saw happened. Baby Sasa, were you there? Oh, yes. You can be there if you want to be there. My name is always Maame Grace. I'm a man crank crabia kwaba. At the best spiritual word you so today's topic is huge for me. And what I want to say is that Paucho, whether they kill me today or tomorrow, whether I am alive or gone, I don't really care. I will tell you what you need to know. But please, said the American say me wo metias you make it count. Me sombra faso. And they ka de nka munye bi nhwe. Hwe ba bia me record ade na enim said the address me obun say e ka de anka ye nye bi nhwe nye se me ko wu o nye se me ko ye bibia o. But truthfully, now I am very emotional. I am very emotional, but me forsay na me ba ye na we still have to talk. Me mamu akwaba at the best spiritual hour jumedi so me paucho. So I won't share my video that this time around share for 10 African people. They need to know, they need to understand, especially those holding Quran and Bible. Today I want to tell you something. I have something to tell you. Me man kran kre bia akwaba. I believed you, I believed you, I believed you, I believed you, and I send you love. I send you love, I send you love, I send you joy. I send you strength. I send you light. I send every black person watching me today light, and I send you pure energies, pure light. If the spirit of Africa is born in you, join force with me, and let's send pure energies. Let's send pure energies to every corner. If the Bible said that, say assembly drew baby on yankopon on ba, and that mama assembly drew baby na be before to me liberty omo. I send you love, I send you joy, and I send you strength. Wherever you are watching me from, I send you love, I send you peace. I believed you, I believed you, I believed you, I do not bless you, I believed you, I do not bless you. I wish you a nature day, and I welcome you to another episode of Spiritual Hour. Today we are discussing the stolen legend, part 2 of last week's episode. And today's episode, put water by your side, and I want you to think deep. If you are in any religion, yes, I've told you we are going to 3 different stages, and don't forget, I am the voice of our ancestors. They speak through me, they smell through me, and they drop every particle of information through me to us. I am the goddess of Alkebulan, pure African. African liberation is a must for me, whether I die or not. These messages need to get to every black spirit. We are going to go through 4 different stages. Let's look at the original people. I want us to look at this first. And when you look at this, hold on to the Bible and hold on to Quran. Look at it and look at your skin and look at your body. Look at your nose. Look at your dental formula. Look at your hair. That is looking like sponge. and think deep. Now let's look at it. The original people. There is a name you may not hear in your history books. At least not in the books given to us by our colonial educators. Who said in the By now, we all know of Alkebulan. I started making it popular on social media in Ghana. We opened that editorial here and later went ahead to popularize the name with a show that got me on a journey to look for the gods and the deities of Alkebulan in villages and remote African countries. When I started that show, people didn't understand. Any show I start, people don't understand and they feel it's about YouTube and it's about YouTube money. When you say those things to me, I laugh at you. Because you don't actually know what you are saying. Because you to Skahina Odi Ubefa a whole crew. Ako London, Mexico, ako try all these things, Benin, Togo, Ubekwako, baby anayekon. But people didn't know what I was about. They thought it was just a show. So they started messing it up. So I chopped. Me coding Alkebulan nimu. That was when I started researching about us. To a sense, me be creative show. Now, me started to me gather energies. No, that show is coming like a kai. A lot of you guys watched the Quest of Alkebulan. Saw how beautiful the show was. And the results from both here, deities, from humans. Now me assume a lot of river deities, a lot of mountain deities. Yako baby, that place I don't think I will forget in a hurry. Yako techi my baby. Ena ochiamene saw the me ko baby, a buo bimu. Kafra sa me kan we me nka ni nyina ba meka kakra. Na yawa ebutu ho. And there are a lot of snakes. They live there. Inti ochiamene no hene ne ma ni di manim no de me koye. You look at how the snakes were coming out. No ochiamene say yabompa inti they are all happy. They are coming to greet you. And I'm like, wow. This nyama we in our house. Ye man crofon fi omkrum betuye sika mbehwe. Inti these are things that I was gathering. To send Crawford started, so then I stopped. It's there. Nobody kills my vision. I hold my vision by the horn because it is given to me to handle. And to me, by the Quest of Alkebulan. You can Google it and watch a few. Alkebulan, as we know, is what the original people call the Yalans. If I say that, you go straight to blacks, you know what I'm talking about. So if I say Alkebulan and I say original people and I tell you people that lives under the sun and I tell you the people that have sponge hair and I tell you the people that have melanated skin, then I am talking about the originals. Long before anyone gave them the name Africa, long before any borders were drawn on any map, we exist. Black people existed before all this programming was made. Kemet of the Alkebulans was the name of some of our civilizations that were so advanced, so knowledgeable, so spiritually rich, that everything the world now calls civilization originated from them. Unless we are John. Now, because will be as a wig. Everything that you see on this earth came out of us. But I will tell you where we fell, where we are sitting now, and what can be done. But the sad part of this whole thing, in say, some of our own people, if you say ye obi na bechire ye nyansa, so wo kasenya e moja kura ti umu no bebere wo nyarewa. Ancient Alkebulans carried knowledge of the stars that is held in custody by the Hogons of the Dogon tribes. I have said a lot about these people. They understood vibrations and frequencies. They knew the secret of the human body. They built things we still cannot explain till today. Up till now, go check Egypt. You will see the stress these people are going through just to understand the pyramid, just a single pyramid sitting there. The Giza Plateau nipe, and then they cannot even comprehend the knowledge our ancestors used in building that pyramid. Just one, we have a lot in our land. They don't understand. They say, my brother, some are saying that it was built by the aliens. It was built by blah, 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 blah. And now, and when they see Egypt, no, baby, so they go round in breaking all the noses. May say African leaders should rise, and AI that is coming, they should make sure they are protecting what represents them. That when AI place a head of an alien on the Sphinx, they should get up and fight. I'm not saying they should use blows. They should warn them. They should write letters to them. They should refuse. Because they've broken almost all the noses, because it is your nose that differentiates you from them. These Trojan babies, I've said it. They passed down teachings through oral tradition. That was what we were doing. Through ritual, through coded Adinkra symbols in their temples and mystery schools. And this murderers, these thieves, these armed robbers came and forced knowledge out of them. It is not everybody they bought that they went to kill or they went to use for farming. Some of them, they extracted knowledge out of them by force. Our ancestors were connected deeply to what I would call, in modern celestial tutelage, an Anunnaki heritage. Now your ancestors in. This is why I tell you that Obroni, betimi akase Anunnaki nebo, there is no problem because they are Trojan babies. But who obibini, who nuya na ya Anunnaki, who brother. I want you to stop saying they created you. It's so disgraceful. Don't read alone, download too. When you download and you are talking, you know what you are talking, will come and face them. I learned that Komfuanoche once told the Ashanti Kingdom, I don't know, I said I learned, I stand to be corrected. Somebody said it on my platform, that Komfuanoche gave them prophecy, say, ohun krofo mfite bi se omo bane ade ye se omo wanjine ndi. Into the American Ujidio one jindio. If it is a download and it is coming from a right source and you know you are not hallucinating and you know you are not under any psychedelics, you know what you are saying. You are not scared. You are putting history down for your people. If they cut off your head, that's the truth. It will come to meet them one day. So I am telling you today that there are Trojan babies that can say that the Anunnakis created them. You, a black man, don't say that. It is a disgraceful words that should come out of your mouth. It is bad. An ancient and powerful lineage that held a specific divine promise, a specific prophecy. That prophecy, in my view, is the same one being acted out today in Jerusalem in plain sight as war between the US and Iran. But wait, let me explain this. The original people who held that promise, the recarriers of that covenant in their blood between the sun and their souls, had their lands taken from them. But now, let me ask you a question here. When you read the Bible, they will say that na Egypt for no, any Israel for no na eko. And I know Nyankopon wo Israel for on the side. Up till now, as we speak, Egypt is still Africa. And I'm telling you, who are the Israelites? Into no Egypt in Tokwano ni Israel for Tokwano. Na ye tribal war ana. I want to know, what was that war written in the Bible all about? Mumbisa muhusa questions we. And it started a very long time ago. Long before what most of us call history. Adi amekachira we say is being there. History and now you bet to me say accurate and then accurate. Adi history ni projected the Africans is now Egypt is filled with white. How sure are we? Said the history written for us is accurate. If it is not, How do we get the accurate information? And if it is true, how do we even measure it and calculate to know that this is a time for better sometimes some of these things when you hear now when you or Egypt or Africa, but when you tell him so you're African, now why you irritated on person better. Just go to any of the Middle East countries, or any of these Middle East countries, yeah, now any of these deserts, and experience the sun. And you can imagine the nature of the original owners of that divine promise of the land. So we call any of these Middle East countries now. Desert no so omote ewi omo bo hwe omo tiri wi na hwe omo skin ehwe omo bobde ehwe omo tena bia because me honam se e kire ba bia me tene ba bia me firi nti e ba ne se ne ye begu ha no omo kogu ho pesa nkrankra bia dwen we hu deep patropa dwen hu deep asase na omo te so na ye omo dia me bisa omo the nature of the original owners of that divine promise of the land e ye omo hu. The hidden truth is that before the European writers westernized manuscripts of civilizations like Persia, Sumeria, Maya, Mesoamerican, Mesopotamia, the Alkebulan's ancestors were the original landowners of this world. They hold the natural right of the earth from their bloodline of the Anunnakis. I tell you, a black man, don't sit anywhere and say that Anunnaki created you. You are not a Trojan baby. Yes, the Anunnakis can be a maker, any pebi, but a person what I say. Now we're doing deep. Read. Yes, it's okay. AI is coming to make our situation cry worse. When you watch some of the video, you don't know whether it is AI or it's the truth. It's coming to make our case worse. The only thing that can help us is downloads and awakening. How many of us are ready with all the stress we are living in this country with? How they've turned this place into Ibisao. So how would you even get through to this level? So you will be able to say that I'm going to download. And now you can project over it. How do we even see spirituality? Ayaresa, aware, abawo. Is that spirituality? Obibini. Uti asemwe. Ohuya moba na ohuya reho. Now, let's look at something here. Obibe bisa senti kasa bebreba okana ye den ene yetena ha tie. Tie mame. Now, let's look at something. Now, when you listen to this part, look at the wall and look at your Bible and look at your Quran. Now, they're going. Let's look at Vikings of the Stolen Promise. There are so many illustrations in many law and books about stolen heritage. But I won't go into all that. I'm my books, but I'm not ready yet. Even the Bible has it in the form of God's choice of Jacob over Esau and the sale of their birthright. This one crown podie o making the plain say na akola na ba ko ye tuntum na ba ko ye fita o bibini kita Bible we read me say ye suma se be kumia ye suma wo se be eliminate me aya adwen ansa dwen the American nyina ho me pato no matter how much you love Allah and you love Jesus, you don't just let anybody manipulate you that hate me. Just listen, and you yourself, the brain sitting in your head, use it. Because you know obi no bedi uyere ti aya fa wadwen no fa dwen me say Bible won one dada obi ya o won also won dwen. It's your choice. There are choices one have to make. Africa also have that right to make their choices. You can never blame anybody. Okay, o say na ba ko ye tuntum na ba ko na omoji ba ko pani na omode ma obi wante da Ephraim any Manasa ade we ensi wo hoda Adonai Jani Solomon ade we ensi wo hoda Ishmael ne Aze ye ji obi pani ama obi de bia mu read the same moti ase sen. And I have said this multiple times that decode that Bible you are holding. If you are holding the Bible, before you insult obi or Freemason or Illuminati, one can dream because of your opinion. You don't know the cult now, woman. I saw something posted, but unfortunately, menye too good with gadget intimate to me and capture. But papa we try de bi and a bibi nso niam bi circulate wo social media na me hu say Christopher mo ye hypocrite. And 50% out of you have serious mental issues. You know why I'm saying this? It is Niger Gezi that posted that thing, but me hunti me can say it is alleged, but no was media no so. Obo obi dia o say ono ni ba wu omo sise obi so ba wu omo sise but obi ba wu ye de. Omo say ono de ode na koye bibi o say something like that. Yes, that is what you people do. And a full grown up African man will lose children tragically and will stand somewhere and sing praises. This is a taboo. And a lost African will praise this. How can you sing praises when the mother of the child is weeping and the wife of a child is weeping and you are singing praises? You are a demon. And these are things we pamper. We pamper for what? For nothing. A cult you have clueless idea about. You have zero knowledge about. It is turning Africans into zombies. Omaka, in Crawford way now their birthright was taken from them. And their eventual tense reconciliations. Who doesn't know this? But how do we take these things? When we read these things in the Bible, how do we take them? Even if you feel, say, I know there your persona, you nipe jina ho de more mind. And your mind bay, and a yadjomo, a birthright, a japadia dear free or munsem. Say na ya wujene. Obi a diwatem abo wa bro was said to you soon. Uni ni pay ne didi boom. Sebe, what do you do my baby behave this way? But I won't settle on that. Me fa honkwa. Let's go with what Africans hate to know. I want to me person me no konde. Africans hate the truth. They omo nunu omo ho no omo asre. You sing praises over this and you are trying to be honest that you sleep in your room and you sleep. No way. This is pure hypocrisy. When the Greeks and then the Romans rose to power, they began a systematic conquest of lands that stretched from what is now Spain all the way through North Africa to Egypt, Sudan, and beyond. Time now, sorry, Greeks, any Roman for sorry, baby, almost sorry, the Romans were very smart and considered themselves the favorites of the gods, who are gods themselves. They did not always fight their own war. So ye nyame. Nti na Bible mu nyina omo na omo wom. Omo de your choice omo make yes omo nyam moronsam. Omo de omo ye nyame. They started with conscious leaders. Recently I had an issue. And I share din na me say e kuro na yetim no ntumi nka no korenti. What kind of cracker will be one they would threaten you and you have to go and beg. And me, I don't intend to beg any human being I have not offended, especially say you no kra na me kan ya wo boada. Enti me nka kra na ma twemuko. Na nsay me kra abobo ya. Me dia abobo ya na ye me farms na o abobo ya say. I realized that two brands of abobo ya na wo kro yim. Eno na abeto dia meto bia so me betwe hu say do afi pepepepepe. Na say and says to the same people no more the parts neighbor. The same people no more workers or to me repair. To me who said this is systematic. And a me ankasa me kra ma abobo ya me type. Eye papa. Me defeat the same be kuro na me de buy. Me be ye abobo ya na me smelly pepper. The local charges. Abobo ya nimpo. E fe chire me ko register so mu twa sika be ma me se me ntwa ni mu nsema me tie na me hu se ye mo bo e wo krom ha ye tie. Eno me ntumi nchire. See, who clear uniama, especially cars, this idea no haba. And ye so hazardous, terrible. Intimate to me in canny baby. But Roman forward, you know more etheric leadership. Enti omu di omu hu omu ho so omu ye nyankopon. Na omu di omu ye nipa nyankopon edo. Enti omu di omu mfa omu hu nkoye niamefi. Ani, they contracted fierce soldiers to go and conquer territories for them. Omo bet na chire na omo asomo obi Just like most spiritual leaders ni bi. Etnet na omu fie na omu soma mo nkraman no. Sa mo nko baake. Ebinum. Saa na Roman for no mu behave. Saa na sofo ni bisu behave. Obetna ho ya ade enye no wasoma nkraman ni bi se mo nko baake. And after the victory, they will use writers to fabricate fantasies of the war and place themselves in mighty roles in those stories. Inti ntokwa na omuku ni na nyame bi na eko. Inti mibisa osesi o mpa oto bebre. O nyame na okun ntokwa. Mibisa o. Ana obi na eko amanyame. Entokwa esi we Israel ni Iran no de yin na mwahu se ala afa boto. Enye nipa na eto no osan screaming Allahu Akbar. The ewa Israel measures no more to the one who say yes to baby to be. In short, they hire people to fight the wars and write stories about their kings being in the war and killing millions. All the dirty work. No magic glory ni na ayeden e de amom ho. Sankrofo we twa ntro no motumi de rule ni pa rule wiase. No mo ntro no mu twa no. Omo amana ye nokore. And one of the most effective groups they used was the Norse people. The ones history calls the Vikings. Who are these people? The Vikings were powerful fighters, raw, fearless, and extremely effective in battle. Because according to story, no I had to say Tarzan. No more name one at an room to no more learning defensive energies and I say learning how to fight and how to defend themselves. The Roman Empire used them to go into Alkebulan territories. Choice. It is a choice the Romans made that they are gods, they are the special gods and the chosen ones. Inti omo de omo nkoye enkurutujuma ombesumo obi na wakwakoye enkurutujuma no why na you say wu use no can that person turn against you one day yenhwe inti omo de omo kofa nkrofo we omo de enkurutujuma na omo ye na omo de omo ye sa adwuma no monko Alkebulan na monkoku omo enkrofo omo starting dia bibifu ewu papa wo bibimem omo na omo ye nurse fu yi. If I see you holding the Quran, I cry for you. Almost man also for no say monko no di kan Arab for and Arabians di kan back room be ye do bone. Both on the European side, which was at that time owned and occupied by melanated Alkebulans, and the North African side, which was occupied by mostly Akans, Gans, Ewes, Yoruba for, and many other tribes of modern-day Africa. And to break the resistance of the original inhabitants, the Norse people or the Arabians were the people that were used against us. Mostly. And now from the onset. I'm telling you that all these people have gone through what we have gone through. They decided to be wise and place their generation first. So they are able to sit on a particular table. And I end the yakasi has said because of time po ema ye mo bi kwa ye ni echiri. Ye ndi echiri ye pese ye nyina edi anim tie ne na aka abo ye nyina. Ye nu maju. Omo kofa nkrofo we no mu use ye. We better say the North are not there. Wait for it. Don't worry. I've told you that when I'm doing an episode and it is research, I know how I talk. If it is downloads that is being done for a year or 6 months, I know how to talk. Because I have said that I don't want anybody to watch my episode and then we'll do a research and look at me or see me as a joke. Because I'm not. This is why I keep asking you people, which God exactly are you worshiping? And which God exactly is revealing this war to you? Which war? What is the basis? When the Alkebulans were defeated, their royal families of African ancestry in those lands were broken and scattered. Many of them fled. The rich and the educated, the spiritual keepers, TMO, they moved south and east into the interior of the land we now call Africa, into the deep continent, away from the invaders. Entitio, omu be ku nipa ni bebree no, omu a anka omu tumi firi mu no ye esikafo. Omu a no omu wo nimdeɛ. Eni omu a no omu hwe sunsum sem so. Enti sa wo so wo hwe pa anka bibifo a ye remain ye generation, we are coming out of rich people, we are coming out of educated people, and we are coming out of spiritual keepers. Enti ask yourself, why are we so slow? What have we eaten? What has happened to us? Why are we so slow? So wait me aka say this place ayeti say amofra na Africa na Alkebulan ni baby ayewe. This place continent where ayewe me. Wait me friend say yebudumbram and I say ye refugee camp. We ran here from the invaders. This is not where we belong in actual fact. We own the whole world, but this place where we are now, dear. Wait me friend say refugee camp. We are seeing now no kwasemuni. But I had it. That is why all African original stories talk about a migration from Egypt through Sudan. Before we started talking about this, so looking at all this, you can say we are the generation of the rich, educated, spiritual keepers. I don't know why I have better than zombies. That is how what we now call Africa became a refuge. It was not the original home of all these people. It was where they ran to when their wider civilization was taken from them. Inti ahana ye wone de ye be moa ye ho hye ha. Inti na nkyere se ahana ye fi ye nye limited sa eye hu. Inti nkrofo we di hu mu a ye nhye ha no na omu keep won so omu build hu to ye so 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 am obibini be ma. Are so vulnerable because of religion. You can find traces of this migration even today. And the Aboriginal people of Australia, people who look like Africans, who carry African spiritual customs and rituals. You can cross-check this. All these, they've done it as codes in the Bible. Nipa ni kum eka Noah. No could be a wine or start to say obo. O pam maybe beka. Into bon say ye but a who ye intimin kayasem. Enti wosha. Woko baby ubehu the remnants of the original Alkebulan clan who spread across the world before the conquest happened. Omo nya baby cause say ye no. Aye dwane ba hanom no. Ubeko baby ebi wo ho. This is evidence that the original civilization was much wider than what we now call Africa. I had the a cut-off point, like refugee camp. Now, here is where it gets very interesting. When the Vikings conquered these Alkebulan territories in what is now the Middle East, and I make sure no be say the more so no omunye we bano when you read, try and project and see things all by yourself. You can get you have your DNA inside of you. You have the bloodline of your ancestors. You can walk on your silver cord to download every information that you need. It just takes a whole lot to get to that level. But just put your mind to it and start it from today. You will get there. Enye gidi. Omo ba ye nurse ne ba ye na. Omo be di ye so the Vikings no. Omo suma omo so omo be bro ye be kum ye. Embe hye ase me tori ye no. Omo ye wie ye no. The Arabian religion now, they copied the culture because they enjoy the cultural exposure and the civilization. Now that Kuromeka sembi achiro. Senkremofone de adie chichire e mani chichire me kacha mu say nye lie long. Aya na yo mu say miminim ni America. All those dressing was copied from you people. I'm telling you, one day we can get into that. But na nye lie long now una na de ma wo yes adie na na wo de na mawiem. And this is important. We need to talk about it. Abusia, the Viking warriors were called bush soldiers. No more civilization bakumpo. They don't care. Yeah, some movies they exhibit this kind of behaviors in it, but before I drink from. The Viking warriors were called bush soldiers by the Romans. From Asrafo. Sana Roman for no Vikings. They were seen as primitive, wild, uneducated. When you almost say ye janeba hano, not rich people, educated people, and na spiritual keepers. And then janeba. But some Vikings if we know Roman for them stating it clearly said no more ye bush soldiers. No omo ye primitive, no omo ye wild, no omo ye uneducated. Sa nkrofo na abedi musu. Make sure omo fare bai. Nti nkrofo eti sei, etimi behu nyansa wo omo nko asumu. Na so omo so tumi si gina ye bi no omo etumi ade omo ho a. Wo generation a wo free asikafo mu, efri obi a wasua de mu. Na wo san wo sunsun mu nimdi a na wo kipi. E ba ne sen na wo be ye so down. And sometimes some of these things when you see them, no why you're weak. You can't even talk. The Roman Empire looked down on them. Just like you guys claim you are worshiping the same God. Mo feel say mo putting in mo bait. Enti mo kwa standing for Pope. Na mako rule Rome. Wo you okay? Onu be ya ade no, but onim where to place you. Obroni ne wo obibini be ya ade no onim where to place you but wo ankasa wo nim where to place yourself. That's my worry. Cause this Roman for ne ye omadwen so mo ye nyame no mo ye God's chosen we mo de omo use omo as a tool omo regard omo as nothing. Se wo ne omo tia 90% ade amike wo be hu clearly wo but obibini hu sika ade aka bi emfa ne ho nti obeka say you okay anka nyesa wo feel say wa putting in a bit. I say yama wo Pope, ye frɛ o. Eja kura nwusie kura pie ye kura pie tuntum. O se fita, nwusie mpo ye differentiate. Obibini se mendwin up to now that's what this. Roman citizenship was expensive and difficult to obtain in those eras. Because Rome was the home of the gods. Nti wudi pe tuntum de. Eye nna brochire no ebia try ekuro bi no wa mentumi bobodin enye nice. And then they be a trying to no mutumi ni abrofo no kasa ne ade tete mire ni mu no na enye easy. There are shops you can't even enter. Oh your blacks e be a bre papa. Am e bi no anya omo ho en no mote ho. Yen acknowledge omo mpo omo wu woni am bi mu ma e bi a bre papa. No omo hu so omo ye nyame nti book ni nyina mo omo di na wu. Omo hu se wo de wu nyo bia. They made themselves the chosen. It's a choice you have to make. You can decide to be a chosen. You can decide to be a God. You can decide to be a sheep. You can decide to be a joke. You can decide to be a follower. It is a choice. But I ask myself, what kind of a choice and what kind of choices is Africa making? We are so powerful. We are so rich. There is nobody, there is no place better than our place. And there is no human being existing powerful and better than an African. Maka. Na minim de wo omo ankasa po omo hu omo ho. Being a Roman citizen means you are next to the gods. San omo choice, omo no omo hu omo ho sa. And truthfully, some mo wo ho no kra binu mu ni nkrata mo de sere omo. Yenya ye sere ye ho. Ha! This is the idea because unya krata na wa ba nyame. But the Romans who employed the fighters saw the Vikings as useful tools. Just like they are using you for religion. Good for fighting, not for belonging to the empire. Say they chosen, but we can use you. The same that we are being used. All the hard works, we do better than everything. Because we say nyame. Yenso yesi engineer make a choice. Yenso nyame. When we see paper, we are okay. So how does the Bible see you as an African? Maybe so. How does the Bible see you as an African? Who is so funny to the extent that Crawford Muti Israel, Omun Bible, Momon, my Bible now, no Musha my Yadet, Butu Muti, Omucha Momuko, Omotana, Welling War now, Chiesi Kakoho, Edon Sako Kakeke, Ultra photo, posty, and the Jiwenu, Onyanko Pon, or Motuana, will press over Quakoshawn. When revealing war, mom, woo bibini. Also, who being a chance, I nipawi, until Yanko revealing war, actually. Ha! A yamobo. Na Vikings ni mpo omo ni omo pre asase no ho no mpo na omo bu omo se omo ye jinjande bi. They can only use them for war. So the Vikings, after they conquered these Alkebulan lands, found themselves in a strange place that they enjoyed. Yasuma se koda kokun obi, yasuma se koda ko wiade unim nyansa wo wia utumi yibi hye wo ho. So ukodi boni ni wie na unim nyansa utumi yibi. All these things are Bible. You say, Joseph Ninianum no call you know, obi we are a corpus, and they should be a broom. All these are course, minutes are time now. They have won the land, that is the Moors or the Vikings, and they introduced Africa to its first and longest lasting slavery for over 1,500 years. This was done by the Arabs. You can call them the Moors, you can call them the Vikings. I will explain better. Don't worry. But they were not respected by the Roman Empire. They were not respected. They were not seen as civilized or worthy enough for the empire of the gods. Because they did all the hard work, all the dirty jobs. But credit is not given to them. They just see them as tools. Oh my God. Wherever you are watching me from, as an African, you need to listen to these things and think wild before you fight anybody because of religion. I will tell you the source of your Bible and your Quran. So think, just think. Don't get angry. With all this calculation, how do you think? Asama make your calculation and the Alkebulan people whom they had defeated and enslaved, those people had something the Vikings deeply needed. And again, no. The Vikings, no, Nkrofo we say no more uncultured, ye bush soldiers, ye uncivilized, or say ye fearless, or say no more ye like no identity. They were nobodies. They were nobodies for those who are even using them to accept them. But oma be use omo nti no mo be hu say ye nkrofo we ai ya be kontokwa ma omo ya be je asase ni nyina ma omo amfa omo anka ye ho de a ene nkrofo ye be konka omo ye omo wo bibi nti ye say ye fa na no ye dade. That is culture and identity. They never had much who we were. And machira who they were. Amudi beku yen. Nti no. Eden no mo yen ye wa omope. Ye culture and ye identity. Identity. Asama mi ken. We ka say, and I den na hu. There is a movie called The Vikings. Minu Monsieur obi emfa hwinsie wo na wo so wonsua de nsua nyansa. Na sa wo we ba ye pa mi hu African pastors are prophesying and Africans are predicting and me who say ye miserable people. Ye so disgraceful. Because all these things are open knowledge. They are downloads to me catch them. They are open knowledge to me man. But me share the Vikings. All these things are there. No credit. Our ancestors had style and knowledge with prestige. Our ancestors had royal titles, beautiful clothes, an established way of life. This is who we are. So the Vikings simply copied the African way of life. Because it's Nkrofu wo mu yenza. Eno no Nkrofu ya ye kuhwani nipa di bi ni wono ana yemfa won yemfa nya yane ho. So the Vikings simply copied the African way of life. They took the names and created pharaohs for themselves. They took the titles. Oh my God. They took the clothing, the food, the language, and the religious symbols. They adopted the entire identity of the civilization they had just defeated. Watutu yase abe fifi so. Watutu yase abe fifi ho. They killed us, raped us, took everything, including ourselves. They became us. Obi only identity, new culture. Wabeto such rich culture. Oh, expect so on yeden. Obe jawa mawaba. Na wasa abeje no nsan koto nwure ni mu biom ni enfre ni se edin no. Onipa de osoma no kora mbunu ama na nse bi amfa na anye bibi. Wo pese wo kire se obetwe ne ho. Ama wo nsa kan wo identity. Omo soma omo so omo bekunye no omo beje yasase. Omo so ba no omo beku bibi fufro no omo afa. Obibi ni hwehwe na kira kwan. Ohwehwe ne ho. How? Ne ho kura hia no. Obi ani onyam bi ani ne ho. Oni hye. Wa benye bibi wa begina soro. Onko fom. Onsa anko ni hia nim. Onko. Onko da. They wanted to matter. Oh yes. Everybody want to matter. So the Vikings equally wanted to matter. So usuma ye na pese ye matter to you, we want to matter ourselves. So they wanted to matter. They wanted to be respected. They wanted to bamba. They wanted to jogodo. They wanted to be somebody. The Romans were given the privilege of ruling the conquered Alkebulan lands. But the Vikings were told to guard the land. From bush soldiers, land guards. Baby papa dia. Inti nurse so mbe form ho adwene. Wo bibini. Baby ayedi wesi. Wo na wo de wo. Wafa wo adwene. Ede na wo ye. To protect it, but not to own it. Omo di omo sisi so say langas. No omo say assassin de anyamo dia. Not to be treated as equals because of you we are uncivilized. We are kuresini. Ti hia wasam. Sana. Roman for you, some for you are just a tool I'm using to me. This is happening now. It's happening everywhere. Over time, the Vikings in the Arabian territories got tired of being land guards. Hey, sa wo bra wo be pete wo ho, sa wo bra wo be ye bibi, sa wo bra wo be sorry, sa wo bra we ni bebre. Eye bibi for pe no mo bre mu nyina no mo joki. They began forming their own kingdoms and sovereignty, their own monarchies, their own royal lines. Ane. So be ambu abu ho wate. Sana nkrofo yi omo ye decision. They copied the Roman style of royalty, just as they had copied Alkebulan culture. These people were smart. And that is how the Arab kingdoms emerged. Sir, say na ma Arab for ni be say die. Afese wa huni America kire no. They were nobodies. Yes, any omo koku no wa koku. Otena se da koro no se da abi. Se maku na hu mi se nipa ene ye me nso me ye me hu bibi. Da ben na bibifo be dwen say. We mo na they were nobodies so. Wo na ye obi, wo na wiase ye wo dia. Bibi biara wiase afa e use bi aye wo dia. Obibi ni kurasi ni se obe obibi ni ba hye wiga. Onye we. That is bitterness. You can't correct nothing with this kind of behavior. That is how we got the Arab royalty we see today. This is how they came about. Yeah, no, we nobody so mu fi nwuram be kon toka e no mo tena se no mo dwen mo se da bi. E ma onye ye langas biom ye be ye. The lineage that came in part from Norse soldiers who adapted and transformed what they found. Omo abe obi. Omo sort so obi sa wo ho again. What God are you worshiping? Do you see any God here? People created a God for themselves and made themselves gods. And Africa is saying they are worshiping God. And that God is telling them about a war. And that God is taking them to heaven. And yet, which God? People that are sick, you are praying to them to get healed. But somebody who is not sick dies mysteriously. And nyame asiesie baby amana ada na ma yare fo no na ewu ana omo nyame asiesie baby mom. So bibini dream deeper. I cry for the members every day. There are things I don't even want to put my mouth into it. Ye do one ye do. Ye time one ye time. Those of you abroad will better understand this than yenya ye waha. You buy a piece of land in Ghana and get a caretaker to look after your construction. What's dying? Me who be that? Ntina me demo na ye example no. Who abroad na usu ye project wo Ghana. Wan kasa wo benu wo ho. Who do we see ano no wadi usika? Who do we see ano no wadi usika? Who do we see ntina me use mu because e bi atomeda. And ntina me say wo pedan ya beto dan wo me ho. Ya be a business platform no. Ya starting load dan in cars bia wo pe. When you go to YouTube and all the media no, just Google a G Park, ubehu land bia titled. Who do sika command obedi. It is a who do sika man so on your construction man. But you get back years later to see the caretaker richer than you. Hey, Ghana de yenwe amobo. Me see me who interview bi na me say this man is speaking my mind. So wo bi adwuma wo Ghana, e bi nya wuda, obi kan obeka so kasa. Wo bi adwuma wo Ghana. Wa fo obi so no meye adwuma ma wo no. Obeku obese wo adwuma no because ya ka kire ne say wo di sikaduro na wo de ye adwuma. Opebi awia ntem no wakọ. Nti wo ma obi adwuma so onye na enye yie no onye bi nye ne ho obebọ wasese to. In a house bigger than the one you bought. Dia wo de na si wadwuma na no e bi adwuma ne kese ye wa akire ho, esi dan ne kese ye wa akire ho. E kai me first house bi a me si ye. Me ba ye ni nipa na me de dan ne share ne nsa so onsi no esi dan kese ye chen me. Me tiles, Italian tiles a me to ba ye so mo fanto no. Bibi e wo me fie wo bi na e bi wo ne fie na ne fie ne so chen me di. Yesu ban ne yetimuni. Nti na me use abrochire de ne de aye example no. Wo de wade eja wo mo. And even your land is no more. Ebi kura beba na asase ne kura ni ho. That's how it played out. Land guards turned land owners. This is what the Vikings did. Omu play Crawford way smart. When are we going to play smart as Africans? And God will do it. Karma will catch up. These people didn't say karma will catch up. Oh. They didn't say Allahu Akbar. Oh. They made the move for that. They made the move. So you see the fight. Land guard. Any assassin owner. And omoko omuntokwa. Ne nyankopon e reveal kire nkrofo na yaje omo asase omoko muntokwa no. We adwin wadwin da ho a wo badwin sa adwin we. Ah, omoko wo wajapade ho. Ne nyankopon no na oyi wo wajapade omoko ho no asem kire so wo na wo tie bibi memu na. Mental illness. Now let's look at this. Two empires of the same origin. Now, the Roman Empire watched the Vikings grow in the Arabian territories and became uncomfortable. And so many master. I'm a master because at the same time, Rome had grown into different countries of Europe, and their royals had been spread across those countries. Almost so be kesiye. And she say, now you see Quran and Bible. Langard of one, no Quran. And Roberts no so almost the Bible. Obibini, where do you belong? This is just a question. Don't get angry. Adia much we. Do your research. Pass every corner and see if there is nothing more than this. The Bible is what sent these bush soldiers to you. The Quran is the first thing that broke your back, the most. So which of the gods in the door that much I'll do back heaven? I'll share my These people who had been hired to guard the land were now building kingdoms and had forgotten who hired them. Look at how painful this will be. Ha! And I'm the one example, Amano. O baba de na dani tindi tim na de awode dani ja no no onye adwuma bi o wetima woni mu ono asi dani kese ye chen ebi kura baba na wasase no kura ono aton wasase na san de kwa abruchiri. So the Norse people got up one day, they said, we no won't do again. We no go do again. When will the real owners wake up to these parasites who are fighting over your property. Instead of waking up, you are sick. So the Roman leadership, being maintained by the secret order of the Freemasons, the older, more powerful line of the empire, the ones who later became the Vatican, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, they decided to reclaim the land. And they needed a strategy. Hey, Rade. They could not simply send armies again because they have tried so many times fighting these Middle Eastern countries, and they can dilute their sovereignty. In fact, sanka ye boaboa ye ho mpo de yesi yenso ye behwehwe bibi ne yenso ya start ya ka ye betumi redeem ye ho ye ho mpo se ye gina baabi enkrofo me ni gina ni e na omo pre ye wiase na ye di eche ne ye bojegum. The ancient Vikings had become strong kingdom in modern times. Omo abeye so strong say these Arab kingdoms had weapons, wealth, and armies of their own. Omo mu ni ntokwa kondada e na omo nim so obi na soma omo. And almost say almost be bamba into almost started prepared that. Into say ya won dwinya aya dwin say aden ankrofo mienu de bi omo wo weapons omo wo missiles. They know how they got to where they are. They know how they got to where they are, and they are always prepared. They don't have intentions of backing down or backing back. Into they be no ma prepare omo ready to fight to protect their security. To protect where they have gotten. And preparation is the religion they've given to both of you. Because that's their religion. They are dismantle waging. No more play. Now we follower. Now we donate. No more attention. So you endorse it for the universe to be on their side. Now, ma dear mo yeno. Aye genuine. This is why they push religion into your throat to choke your brain. Which God in actual fact, apart from their maker, which God in actual fact are you worshipping? What is that God doing for you? What is the evidence? What is that God doing for us in Africa? With all the prayer, we prayed than them. What is this God actually doing here? Ibisa. When are you going to wake up? Omo be wiade no, omo gina ho, a protect your mo, learn, ye bibia, wo obibini. When are you going to even wake up to know, just to know who you are? Na wo gina ho kra wo hu at omo so. So, they reach back into the knowledge they had stolen from Alkebulan, the sacred mythology, the divine promise, the legend of the chosen people. Oh my God. And they built a new religious and political movement around it to secure themselves. Obi dia wabeto no waboa ne ho asi so keten. Ade aye ne dia aye weapons agu mi sorry da. Just as the Arabs solidified their kingdoms with religion, the Illuminati also took the story of Abraham. They also took the legend of Solomon and his temple. They combined it with Egyptian ideas. Isis, Ra, Elohim. And from this combination, they created what they called Israel. Now you see the Bible and the Quran. You see your religion. What has it done to you, Obibini? A new nation, a chosen people, a divine mandate to reclaim a sacred land. And they connected it into a holy book, the Bible, and they built a religion around it, Judaism. Into we a Christian, we say we need Judaism for, they are your fathers. Just like you claim Roman for and as a charismatic or orthodox, they are your purpose. This is not hidden, it is open. I have told you, go and watch the Vikings. Which God exactly? Which God exactly? Ubi no so why no God. Inti aden na moma just the way you people portray God is so nasty and stinky. A bomb. So this is it. Yes, krokotoi. Yanka se krokosin. Enkrofo we de omo ba besin yen, omo abeto yen. Omo soma omo mpo akosin omo masters. Obibini se me de mo beto me de pa me hu tietia me so, fa me ya de ope bia. This, in my view, is how Judaism as a political nation-building project was constructed to reclaim the land from the hidden masters of Rome. Not by the original carriers of that legend, but by those who had studied, stolen Akromfo, and adapted it for their own purposes. Nyame ben. In short, the Vikings in the Arab territories saw what was happening. They saw the Romans building a religious empire, and they decided to do the same thing. They also built their own religion fast. What are the originals doing? Africans, what are you doing? This is why I said Trump is the wisest man, the smartest guy for his race. Me can't say yes, smartest guy for his race. Normally he race, and if you say yes, smart, onye me race. Me say yes, smartest guy for his race. Or the can say be, or say religion is coming back quickly. Almost all write a Bible. Africans say almost doing that be seen, almost that sort of. Or not who this vibe. Or also try to establish the ground for his people. Ain't Crawford where Bush soldiers see. Bush soldiers see uncivilized beings see, uneducated people. They also decided to do combination. We attractors ne papa. To also build your religion. They also claim divine authority. Oh yes. They created Islam and connected it to the Holy Land. Don't they? Holy. So musu wobi. Nyansa. They made a greater choice. They refused to be slaves. They refused to serve. They decided to move. They decided to do something. There is no crime in having part of religion or creating part of your own religion. We are the biggest continent. We are the follow. Wokoka almost say yebebo. What do you do? Who nyansa ye de kok bu obi o kanyansa sem. Na woni nyansa o de besesa wo shebere. So, by the Quran and Islamic traditions, they also have a tax to fight for that same land. Amen. Because when you say nyame se dey a na say bibi ewu. So if I tell you Trump is the smartest, so when would you no so ye? Ono so churo book man nkrofo Africa for ye be promote. Na me twen se nka asofo no be sori asi Bible no so. Obi aye mew. Omo akomoto atum. Na akakadu ni sho omoto na ehihye om. Hey, two religions, two empires from the same origin. Akromfo mienu. The same borrowed source. Oh my God, black man. One side of the Roman Empire and one side of the former Viking land, the protectors of colonies, are now Arabian royals. Langard for na pejo mumu. Honest no. Almost your mother. Honest of the source. What up with you Africans? Oh, I saw a video. It made me so vulnerable. Na me pese misu. Na minyaya ankasa video set videos nka ye post people on internet so. But who am I? Now it was so emotional. It reduces us. We are so rich and powerful. We are not poor people. Don't let anybody lie to you. Kofunu wo gusro won. Won nyina da nka. We are rich and powerful. So some of these things, when it's posted on social media, it gets to me. Me, myself, I'm my weakness. I am mofra. Enti me who video na enti enne say na me ba no hwe me a wo be nne man sada amba papa biasa. Salanga the way I establish your mo e de na ye. And they have been in conflict ever since because Masuma Osako guide land apprentice master. Because they both know what the other one is. Obi enim kromfo ko an nyonko ye. Wo ye kromfo na ufin wuram na obeye langard me na me de wo ba kurum. Wo so ye kromfo a so ma me se nkoku nipa wo ye wudini e na omoko. Nkrofo tu yi nimade omoko wo ho. Obibini pe na onim na so so nka ne to ndwom ntena ne ba bi ndwe ne ho. Obibini is so disgraceful to extend that onim what to join and what not to join. Onyami review ni bibi chere wo about the war. Now let's look at something here. We mean kanekesi. Me kaneka krebi. Ghana and Israel in the war. Me kan bibi kakrebi wa. Now abusuya, why am I telling you all this? Because recently, a very interesting piece of news came out. Israel reached out to Ghana, asking for support in this war. And I was like, what? Na yen kra yen na ma no mo fire service ka kra no. Pure water de yadigum. Na ma no yetu okra bo banim. Yen na say ya yetu ye plane kra na yewu. And I'm over in the midst of missiles. I'm tutu. Who the plane crown and would distribute letters. Now over yen. Say yamba boamo. At which point in patriotic news, and how did you feel? Hey! Assemble and Crawford walking. Patrol say moving one fancy mom no munsha wife. And when I heard this, I asked myself, what does Ghana have that Israel needs? I didn't hear you. I'm here, mobile friends say yamba boamo. And shopping at the end of Ghana does not have nuclear weapons. Yeah, no nuclear weapons. America for they have everything. Yeah, anyway. How? Ghana does not have the kind of missiles being used in this war. We do not have the military technology that could make a difference in a conflict of that scale. So why Ghana? Israel? Why are you calling us in this case? Come on, Galam say we are not able to fight. We dare our one corner. Your light, your water. Why are you calling us in this war to come and help you? How? I will tell you what I believe and what I know. The Roman Empire and the forces that continue to operate in its name have never forgotten who the original owners of those lands are. They've never forgotten about us. They know us. They know. They have always known. Africans have forgotten. They know we have forgotten. They know they have brainwashed us. They have forgotten Bibia. But the Romans haven't. They know us more than we know ourselves. They know. And they know that in any spiritual or legal claim over that land, the testimony of the original owners matters more than the testimony of anyone else. They know, they are aware of this. This is why these people hate us, some of them, most of them. They hate us, but they will still give us documents and they will still give us small benefits. They know what they are about. They know what they are doing. They know why they push religion into our throat. They know why they build temples and mosques for us for free. They are paying us bits just to get our consent and our endorsement. They want to make these thieving things legal. This is what they are up to. They want to make it legal. So they want our consent. They want us to endorse them. They don't want you. Sports. They make sure we are part. Just so that they will make the whole thing. The endorsement is they are making the whole thing illegal. Think of it this way. Say, Maame, if a man steals a child, TMO, and raises that child as his own, it is a crime. He has no legitimate claim. The universe bears witness of what I'm saying. But if a man is given a child and the biological parent signs a document, and the biological parent stands as a witness in court, then the adoption is legal. This is what these thieves want to do with us. These langers and these thieves, this is what they want to do with us. Into the religion, but near humble, near moko, into your ancestors, say, hey, say, me sorry, I'm say, almost say, my migrants, man, I'll say you. Then I'll obey. They claim it's clean. The new parent has legitimacy. Oma peniso. Edi ama omuntia ye clean. When Israel asked Ghana, and by Ghana I mean Africa, I mean the Alkebulan people, when they asked us to stand with them to endorse them, to witness for them. They are not asking for our military. They are asking for our spiritual legitimacy. Into this offer, we say, they know what they are about. If African leaders can wake, ready. They are asking the original owners of the legend to bless their claim to it. Ebanisana university na cosmic law ni na back home. If this happens, it goes in their way. Akoyi amamu, we endorse them. This is it. So the religion you love so much, see what you are doing? Endorsing your birthright for someone who is enslaving you. Are you okay? I want you to think deep. They have shared us upon themselves. Islam. Any Christianity, Freemasonry, Illuminati, Judaism, men, you're confused and don't worry your head. They're the same thing. So me, when I see Christians insulting these people, I look at them and I laugh. Quack, 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 quack. Lack of knowledge. They want the descendants of the Alkebulans, the people the prophecy was originally written for, to hand it over to them formally. Because it is in the Bible. Trump wrote to me, they've made this thing plain to you. And now they want to make it legal. No when you which South African leaders now will wake up every day. This is much, and some news and some utterances and some statements President Mahama is making. People are sending to my office. He said they are watching you. I said, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I know they are watching. This is their fight. They understand all these things. These people you believe can preach God and bring God to you, a righteous God. And if we do that, if our leaders stand with them, if our government give them that endorsement, remember if you say your government in your government endorse automatically, we are signing away the one thing that still belongs to us. Me preaching the piano. I am begging all African leaders to watch themselves. Mind your business. Don't go and endorse nothing. They are saying you are poor continent, you are this. So you stay in your poverty and leave them. If we can't fight, at least we should allow the cosmic to fight for us for once. You should not allow these people to manipulate you anymore. That one thing that we are hoping for. That God they are telling you, that God doesn't know you, doesn't care. There's nothing like God. It's wisdom and movement. If we cannot do it, the wind blows every day. Let the winds, let the sun, let the rains, let the stones, let the frequency that rules this universe have mercy on us. But if we say we don't want to give to them, we can't blame anybody. Jesus said that to you. If you don't go to heaven, don't blame Jesus. We want to go to heaven. We want to make this our place heaven. So please, our divine promise, we should not give it away. Ebusia, this is bigger than politics. This is bigger than military alliances. This is a spiritual transaction. I am begging you people. I'm talking to you people, African leaders as a spiritual visionary and a sky watcher. This is too big for you to go and give away. Do not do this spiritual transaction for us. We want to be free. We want to liberate our continent. We want to liberate our people. Do not endorse anything. Do not give away that one thing that we are hoping for. We are begging. And we are being asked to sign it without being told what we are signing. They should complain. At least. They are calling us to come and help. Us in what? With bomb? Do we have? Huh? At the end of why are the best support to complain. Tell us what you want. I am telling you today so that you know. I am telling you so that when you hear news about Africa endorsing, supporting, or standing with Israel, you understand what that endorsement really means. I have opened this up to you. These are my downloads. This is it. We call it spiritual transaction. May this never happen. They should remain thieves and murderers, rapists as they are. We should never legalize this for them. Before you stand with any of these thieves in the name of religion, think about Africa. Think about your land. Think about who you are. And think about what I am saying. Be spiritual, be etheric, be awakened. So you will understand this thing. The real chosen ones have been walking in chains for hundreds of years. And it is in your Bible. They are not hiding anything from you. They have just captured your brain. Break that chains from your brain and think deep. Adeshe ne namfom ne nkwatete apopos. Unfa scripture no nto ho. Who are the adeshe and who are the nkwa? Open insult. Frindeko, that insult, may it pain you. And out of pain, you are able to make a sensible decision. The real chosen ones, they have been scattered and enslaved and oppressed without a script and without a plan. Because not because they chose to be hated, but because the world was taken from them. We didn't choose any war. We didn't fight anybody. We were sitting in our one corner. And these people came to steal everything in our world. Now we are lost. We actually don't know where we are. And those are the people waiting for a real deliverance. We need deliverance. And where do we need this deliverance from? They took everything, scattered us. Just say, chaka. Religious book is all fake. They did this to you in pain. Now, when it does say they are doing it to you and you are laughing. It's too much of a joke. We are waiting for a deliverance, not a scripted one. Not a scripted deliverance. The omuch running na ye fake a cromfo honinjuma. Not a manufactured apocalypse. That is not what we need. We need a real one. I hope I don't get into trouble for talking about them. And if I get to, like I said, whatever happens to me, let this count. Tell the kids. Let the kids know who they are. They are the generation of rich, educated, and spiritual keepers. Omu generation munofi or ye everything royal. They've told her or him that onam form na kwate ponkoso ya kwaninsi from nontana ne ponkoso. Tell the kids for me whatever happens to me. Don't worry, I don't have a problem. Just let it count for me. We will expand on who constitutes the master engine of the Illuminati. Because me can't say omuni Christophoni in abomuno. They won't understand. We can go deeper about this. Do you want me dear? Mamu mane hamu. Do you want pebia? Omo be to me aye. But ena make an system. Let this matter, preach this, push this into the throat, into the very saliva of every black child. They should know who they are. And they should know these thieves with their scripted deliverance and their scripted heaven. It is fake. Me pese me emotional. Ahana me do bisi. Meko.